Hey, welcome back. In the previous videos, we have seen predefined functional interfaces. We have covered predicate, function, consumer, and supplier. Now we will see two argument functional interfaces. Now both of the interfaces are very much similar, but there is only one difference. And we will check these differences one by one. So first we will cover the BiPredicate. Now in previous videos we have seen predicate. We know that predicate is a Boolean valued function. It will return a Boolean value based on some condition. Now BiPredicate is also a Boolean valued function, but BiPredicate will take two arguments as an input. In case of predicate, we were just taking one argument as an input. So this is the basic difference between predicate and BiPredicate. In case of BiPredicate, we are taking two arguments. In case of predicate, we were taking only one argument. You can see the method signature here. It has abstract method test and it is accepting two arguments, t and u. It is returning Boolean value. So it will check the condition and it will return a Boolean value. So we will check one simple example for BiPredicate and you will understand it better. So we will move to the Eclipse. Okay, so let me create one class. I will give it a name test, add the main method. Okay, so here we will be checking if the given number sum is greater than 5 or not. So in case of BiPredicate, we are taking two numbers as input. So we will be checking if their sum is greater than 5 or not. So let's say if you are taking num1 and num2 as an input, we need to check if the num1 plus num2 is greater than 5. So basically we will be writing a BiPredicate for this. So how can we write a BiPredicate? As similar to predicate, simply write BiPredicate, and here the type of input parameter will be integer. The type of second input parameter will be integer only. Okay, and we will give it a name p1, and here we will be writing a lambda expression. So here we will be taking two parameters as an input. So we need parentheses num1 num2 gives, now what we have to check, if the num1 plus num2 is greater than 5. Simply we can copy paste it. Okay, now this is a lambda expression for our BiPredicate, and it has similarly abstract method test, so we can invoke it. So I will simply write a sysout statement, and here we will invoke p1 dot test. So let's say I will pass the first argument as 5 and second argument as 6. Okay, save it and run this program. So run as a Java application, and you can see it is giving me true, that 5 plus 6 is greater than 5, because that's why we have checked in the lambda expression. Now we will again pass two arguments. Now this time we will pass the less. So here I will take 1 and here I will take 3. Okay, and now I will run this program again. Press the F11. You can see it is printing true for the first sysout statement, where 5 plus 6 is 11 and 11 greater than 5 is true, and here 1 plus 3 is 4 and 4 is greater than 5 false. So it is printing false. This is the example for BiPredicate, and as we have seen, it is very much similar to the predicate. The only difference is predicate will take one argument as an input. BiPredicate will take two argument as an input. That's it. So we will save the next. That's it. So let's see the next two argument functional interface. The next two argument functional interface is BiFunction. We have seen in the previous video that function will take one argument and it will return a result. That result can be of any type. But what is the difference between function and BiFunction? The BiFunction will accept two arguments and produces a result. But in case of function, we were just accepting one argument. So you got the difference between BiFunction and function, right? In case of BiFunction, we will accept two arguments and produces a result. In case of function, we were just accepting one argument. It has the same abstract method apply, and you can see it is expecting two arguments. For the first one is t and the second one is u, and also it is returning a result. That result can be of any type. It can be integer, it can be string, or any custom object. So let's take one example for BiFunction. Okay, so I will create one class here. I will give it a name test, add the main method. Okay, so here we will be adding two numbers and we will be returning its sum. So we will be taking num1 and num2 and we will be returning its sum. So we will write a BiFunction for it. So how can we write a BiFunction? Simply write BiFunction, import it from java.util.function package. Now here, what is the type of first parameter? It will be integer. What is the type of second parameter? It will be integer. And we are returning sum, and it will be type of integer only. So here I will give it a name f1, and here we will be writing a lambda expression for it. So since we are expecting two arguments, we need a parenthesis. Num1 num2 gives, now we will be returning a sum of num1 and num2. So num1 plus num2. That's it. Since it is a one statement, we do not need curly braces, we do not need return keyword. If you are facing any difficulties writing in lambda expressions, I will recommend you to check my first video, how can we write lambda expression for various cases, and that video will clear all your doubts. Okay, and now it has abstract method apply, and we can invoke that method. So simply I will write a sysout statement and I will invoke the apply method. Apply. So first argument will be 3, the second argument will be 6. Simply save it, clear the console. Okay, now we are ready to run this program and press F11 to run it. You can see the 9 is printed on the console. 3 plus 6 is 9. So this is a simple example for BiFunction. So we have written a BiFunction here and we are invoking the apply method. So the basic difference between function and BiFunction is BiFunction will take two arguments as an input and it will provide the result. The word by specifies the 2 here. Okay, so we will see the last two argument functional interface, and it is BiConsumer. Similar to predicate and function, we have also covered consumer in the previous videos. We have seen that it represents an operation that accepts one argument and it will not provide any result. But what is BiConsumer then? It will accept two arguments and it will not provide any result. It has the same abstract method except. You can see the method signature here. The except is accepting two arguments t and u, and the return type of exec method is void. That means it will not return anything. So you got the difference. The consumer will accept one argument and it will not return any result. The BiConsumer will accept two arguments and it will not provide any results. So the only difference is in number of arguments. Consumer will accept 1. The word bi specifies 2. That means it will accept two arguments and it will not return anything. So let's take one example for BiConsumer. So I will create one class here, give it a name test, add the main method. Okay, so here we will print the name of the student and marks he got. So we will printing name and marks. So how can we write a BiConsumer for it? So let's say BiConsumer, import it from java.util.function package, and the type of first parameter will be string. The type of second parameter will be integer because we will be passing marks as a second parameter. C1, and here we will be writing a lambda expression. So here we will be writing a lambda expression. Since we are taking two parameters as an input, we need a parenthesis. So I will take it below so that you can see it clearly. And here I will be writing name and marks. Okay, it gives. So we will simply write a printout statement here. Sys out, and we will write here. The first one will be name, got. Now here it will be marks, and marks. Okay, so name will go here and marks will go here. Save it, and it has the same abstract method except, so we can invoke that particular except method. So I will write c1 dot accept, and here I will pass Ruby got 85 marks. So you can see the first parameter is a string, and that's why we have written a string here. The second parameter is integer, we have written an integer here. Okay, save it, clear the console so that clear the previous outputs, and run this program. Run a Java application, and you can see Ruby got 85 marks. So we have written a BiConsumer. Now consumer is, it will take one argument and consume it. That means it will not provide any result. In case of BiConsumer, it will take two arguments and consume it. That means it will print it or it will save in the DB. So it can do any operation, but it will not return any result. So we have written a BiConsumer which will simply print name and marks, and we have invoked the accept method which says Ruby got 85 marks. Now I can pass another parameters here, and here we will write James got 53 marks and save it. Run as a Java application, and you can see Ruby got 85 marks, James got 53 marks. Okay, so this is a simple example for BiConsumer. So we have seen the two argument functional interfaces. The first one was predicate, that means it will take two arguments and it will return a Boolean value. The second one is BiFunction, that means it will take two arguments and it will return a result. That result can be of any type. And the third one is BiConsumer, that means it will take two arguments and it will not return any result. The return type is void. And we have covered the simple examples for all these two argument functional interfaces. This is really simple concept. Just there are chances that you will receive two arguments sometimes. So instead of using predicate, you can use the BiPredicate and so on. So whenever you are getting two arguments, you can use two argument functional interfaces. And there will be no two argument functional interface for supplier, because as we know, supplier do not accept any argument. It simply return result. So we have seen supplier predefined functional interface. It will not accept any argument. It will simply return a result. Since it is not accepting any argument, there is no chance of BiSupplier. Okay, so we will see next concept in upcoming videos. Thank you.